basketball was only my vehicle to teach me about life. My mom would always tell me my real life wouldn't start until after the game of basketball. And that's what happened to me. Everything I touch now turns to gold.
Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for your continuous support and thank you for clicking this video. If you'd like to find more ways to support us, please visit our website at goodconvosonly.com where you'll be able to find our merch and all of our podcast episodes. Welcome back to Eat and Talk, everybody. I'm Yusra.
And I'm Gilbert, and we're back with another episode of Eat and Talk.
Man, we're going to get into this episode real quick, but first of all, shout out to Delano's Pizza for the amazing food today. We are grubbing.
We got pizza, wings,
everything. Shout out to Chalo for sure. I don't know, like I said, how to introduce this guest. First of all, thank you so much. This is my brother, PJ Hill, you guys, and he has a long resume, and I could go down, but I'm number one vice president of NWACP.
Say that again.
Yep, vice president of the NWACP. Financial advisor.
Say that again.
Real estate. Community advocate, former professional ball player. We're just gonna get into everything. Mm-hmm. But first and foremost, when I first met PJ, it's the same way I met Gilbert. Actually, we were coworkers, and we had some time to get to know each other. And he shared a story with me, and I was shocked. Like, I told you this. I really didn't think it was real. I was like, there's no way, like, this is real. It felt like a movie to me. And they really should make a movie about you, to be honest.
Hopefully.
Someday, for real.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let him go ahead and introduce himself. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm beyond grateful to be able to share this space with y'all.
DJ, don't be humble, man.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Be humble.
For me, I'm a product of this environment. I'm a product of low-income housing. I'm a product of so many people who came before me. So, for me to be able to get on this platform and to be able to speak my truth, share my story in hopes that I can inspire somebody else, I'm grateful for that. And I know, anytime I got black people doing businesses, I want to support any way I can.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Do. PJ is in all the rooms, y'all. I'm talking about every single room. He's in there. So, it don't go unnoticed at all.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
God has really given me ability to use the game of basketball to achieve my dreams and goals, and now my life mission is to help people achieve theirs.
I love that, and we're going to get into that, but let's start from the beginning. How did you evolve into the PJ Hill that you are today? Tell us where you started.
Yeah, so I grew up, I'm born and raised here in South Minneapolis.
Shout out to that.
Yeah, shout out to that.
Minnesota born.
Yeah, we've been putting on for a long time, and now we finally getting the recognition we deserve. But, I come from a big family. I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. I went to Minneapolis North, graduated from there, went to junior college. I didn't fill out no application. So it wasn't like college was like, something that was straight on my mind. My heart was to play basketball. My dad grew up, way crazier than I did, and Detroit here. He ain't had nobody. So he told us at a young age, look, I can show y'all basketball. Hopefully basketball can be y'all ticket out of here, and so y'all can use basketball to achieve your dreams and goals. And that's exactly what we did. Education wasn't number one. It was basketball. And we used that to get an education and to build our life resume, which I always say is the most important thing that you can do, because a lot of the things that you do is like on the job, learning. Mm-hmm. So, I didn't know what I was going to do for college. I had a coach who was coaching me in the summer. And he said, PJ, it's one spot left at a junior college. You can go down there and try out. A guy is going to a four-year college. I said, cool, I'll go down there and try out. So I went down there, flew down there, tried out. It was in Midland, Texas. As soon as I got done with the guys, I put on, Mm-hmm. He we offering you a full ride. I called my mom and dad, look.
They ain't coming back home.
Yeah, I'm going to Midland, So
amazing.
I get down to Midland, play my first year. We ended up winning a national championship. Blessed beyond belief, got crazy rings. It was like, wow, dream come true. So I'm like, here's the start of my journey. I'm going to come here another year and then eventually be able to go to a four-year school and live out my dream of playing Division I. In the summer, so I got, me and my sisters and brothers, we're stacked, 3 years between all of us, and then it's a huge gap, and then it's 5 more all 3 years.
Wow.
My youngest sibling is my little brother. What is he, 12? Mm-hmm. 12, so I'm 30, about to be 35.
Are you oldest, middle?
I'm the second oldest. I got an older sister,
Okay.
then me, then my brother Ninja, then my sister Taylor.
Asian.
Yeah.
That's your brother?
Yeah, it's my brother. And then different lifestyle than me. Yeah. And then I got
What about you,
Morgan,
You said that's your brother?
Jade, Angel, Naomi, Malachi.
Shout out to Najan though.
I love
Yeah,
those names. Those are
yeah.
great.
So we pretty deep.
And you got a sister who also lived out like the basketball,
Yeah.
life, and she was in the
5 of us
WNBA.
have played Division 1.
Wow.
Crazy.
My parents ain't never paid for none of us. My dad told us at a young age, if I gotta pay for y'all to go to school, y'all not going.
I feel
He wasn't lying.
truthful.
Yeah.
So y'all gotta make it in
He
basketball.
wasn't
Yeah.
lying.
This is
Yeah.
no lie.
Yeah.
I remember being young, my dad would tell us, ain't nothing ever great achieved without sacrifice. He would use all our money to take us on trips to go hoop and all of that, just because he had a vision for us. We would come back home, we wouldn't have lights, we wouldn't have water, but we knew, and my mom really didn't understand, but my dad really had like a real vision for us to be able to use the game of basketball to like get up out of where we was at. And I'm thankful for him. A lot of my friends didn't have pops.
Absolutely.
You know, my dad's he's an awesome dad. He's not a perfect man by any means because he didn't grow up with his dad. His dad got murdered. Came from a real street life. But he knew he was just going to be there for us. And so we forever indebted for that. And, now, even my dad, and we can talk about this later, has transitioned our family and said, look, you the patriarch. So now my dad looking up to me to be able to make things happen.
It's amazing.
And we'll talk about that later. So
Yeah.
getting back to my story, at the time, so after I finished my first season, I was back at home with my sister. I was at her national tournament in Orlando, Florida. And for y'all, my sister, WNBA, McDonald's All-American, Miss Gatorade Player of the Year.
Shout out to
Olympic
her.
player. Yeah, just
She's goated, y'all.
all-state scorer. My sisters is 1, 2, 3 in the Minneapolis Conference in scoring. So they big pedigree. I was with her. My coach called me at 1:30 in the morning and said, PJ, it's a top 100 junior college players camp. They got one spot left. Would you be interested in coming? I said, man, of course I would be, but I don't have no way to get there. So my mom and dad said they can give me enough money to get me back home. Then I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, I asked all the people I knew, they ain't really had no bread. I asked, some NBA players who I was hooping with, training with. They gave me the bread with no problem. I missed all the damn flights. So
God has a plan.
yeah, God has a plan. So I had to, double back and say, man, can you help me rent a car? Help me rent a car. Big determination on my part to drive 13 hours. And I always say this, and I want to make sure I spotlight this. You never want an opportunity to come your way and you not be prepared for it. You'd rather be prepared and the opportunity don't come.
Facts.
And a lot of times with our people, and not just our people, so many people, they have big dreams and aspirations, but then when the opportunity come, they're not really prepared to take advantage of it. So for all of y'all listen, make sure you do all you can do, and so whoever comes into your life can do what they can do for you. Whether that may be whoever, for me that has always just been God, opening doors and that people be right there to open that door for me. So I drove down there the next day, man, and I killed off no sleep. I turned up. And I went from really zero to hero, I had the first person to offer me a scholarship was Brad Stevens, who's now the president of the Celtics. I know that's your squad.
Shout out to the Celtics, for sure.
Yes, they fell a little bit short, but they try.
Yeah.
I still like my Timberwolves.
Okay,
so.
they won in my eyes.
I still like my Timberwolves. Shout out to you guys.
So then I played the next day, and I'm on my way back to the crib, and I get a call from Ohio State. Coach Thad Matta said, look, I never seen you play. One of my assistant coaches seen you play. They had just played in the national championship. They had Mike Conley, went to the NBA. They didn't expect him to. He was a freshman. They like, would you be interested in coming? I'm like, yep. Can you be here Monday for summer school? Yep.
They're always trying this, man.
Yeah.
One spot left.
One way or
One way
another.
or the other.
Yeah.
Crazy. I drove right back to Minnesota,
Wow.
straight to Ohio. All my clothes still in Texas because I thought I was going there. My family's still in Florida. My life changed like this. I'm up now.
Yeah.
So now I'm playing at Ohio State, killing, doing my thing. Going into my senior year, still doing my thing. Going into the so this is sidebar. This is what happens to us in life. It's like
Throws obstacles at
on
you.
everything. I always say this, like your path to success is like a GPS. What happens is if you go the wrong direction, you run into roadblocks. GPS don't ever tell you to go back. It don't ever tell you to stop.
Yeah.
it just reroutes you. And that's what happened to me. You know, I just kept getting rerouted, and I eventually found, you know, my destination. And I, you know, encourage everybody to, no matter how many obstacles you run into, that's a part of life.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep going. Going into my senior year, I got a message on Facebook. Sorry, I never told you. You got a 2-year-old daughter.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
was
this
shook.
part had me, y'all. When he told me this, I said, what? What'd you do,
2-year-old
PJ?
daughter. Okay, PJ.
Wild, yo.
Tell us.
I'm shook, man. Look, I'm a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm about to have a kid.
Yeah.
Man, I slammed that computer. I unplugged that bug. I plugged it back in, logged back into Facebook. Bro, that message was still there. I'm like, this ain't no game. So I get done with the NCAA tournament. I'm done with school. I graduated early.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man, God is amazing. I go get my daughter. That was 12 and a half years ago.
Wow.
My daughter ain't seen her mom since.
Yeah.
Her mom gave her to me and dipped.
Yeah.
Boy, dipped. So now I'm
I
back.
know, right, Gilbert? That was me. When he told me this, I said, what you mean?
And dipped.
Yeah.
Deuce.
Yeah, I'm 21 years old. I just got from college, living the craziest life.
Right.
Now I gotta come back home to be like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't live at home. My mom and dad is 13 people living in 3 bedrooms. You know, I grew up right next to Little Earth. So I grew up basically in the Indian projects.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from. So really, really humble beginnings. But I got too much pride to go back and sleep on the floor. I'd rather sleep on the floor and struggle in the streets with my daughter than go back home. And
Yeah.
so, then, you know, pride always comes before the fall. And mine is coming. You're going to see. So then I went, you know, just was living with my grandma over north. Then I went to live with an old girlfriend of mine and her sister and her boyfriend. So it's 5 of us living in a small 2-bedroom. You know, I ain't had no bread, bro. I remember, like, I had to go to the trash, get boxes, put a bunch of covers over there, like, you know, put a sleeping bag on top, pillow. That was my daughter's bed. I really didn't have nothing, bro. Like, real life, didn't have nothing. And all I knew was just like, it's going to be me and my daughter and we going to win.
Yeah.
We just got to figure it out. So I went to the NBA Summer League. I didn't play. That was like real crushing because every time I get like high, close to my dreams thing, it feel like, you know, I have the rug snatched from under me. And that's what happened. So I came back home. I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm working construction. I'm like, got all these odd-end jobs. I got a daughter. I had a Camaro with no back seats. I had to sell that to make ends meet. I'm like training kids in basketball, but still working out every day trying to make my dream come true. I was training at this gym called 43 Hoops in Hopkins, and y'all know how far Hopkins is from me.
I know
43
43 hoops.
Yeah, so I got my start there. Look, I was hooping there every day, working on my game, and one day somebody didn't show up for a session, so they said, PJ, can you do a session? I'm like, man, I ain't never worked with no kids. They like, just try it. I worked with them kids parents loved it. So they like, can you come back next week? I'm like, yeah, I'll be back next week.
I'll
I'll be back next week. Yeah. So I started doing that. But I was still like, you know, working on my game. So, but the most humbling thing is like, when in everybody else's eyes, I was on. I just came from Ohio State. So understand this, you know, Ohio State got the #1 budget in the nation.
Yeah.
I'm driving private jets. We flying private jets. I'm driving BMWs. I'm living in condos. I'm playing in front of 30,000 people every night. I'm up. Then I come back here. I don't got no whip. I don't got no place to live. I got a daughter. I ain't got no money. Everybody wondering why I'm not playing in the NBA, you know? And I remember, like, I was so embarrassed to ask people for rides and everything. I would train people. I would wait late at night till everybody dipped from the gym. And I would walk home from Hopkins with my daughter. I had my daughter in my hand. I had my bag. And I walk down Highway 7. Then which would turn into Lake Street. And I walk home.
I know exactly what
Every
you're
time.
talking about.
I ain't had nothing. But I didn't want nobody to see me down. I remember one night walking and my boss seen me. He like, what you doing out here? I just lied. Like, yeah, I'm going to Johnny Rockets. You know what I'm saying? Get something to eat. I was just too embarrassed. Like, and I just felt like, you know, I don't know. Like, I was just down on my luck, but I'm going to get back somehow. Just keep believing in my dream. But one thing I learned about this, though, you never know who want to help you. So, like, it's okay to ask for help from people.
And that's the thing we all lack is that pride that I need help.
For sure. I think it's like, you know, especially being a man in our culture, you don't really want to tell people, like, you're struggling. And so that's what I was doing. I was struggling. I kept working on my game, though. Never once gave up on my dream.
You didn't ask for help either. Huh?
No, I didn't, bro. I'm going to walk. But one day, he seen me walking again. He said, I've been watching you walk home for a couple of weeks now. Why didn't you tell me? So he gave me his car. He gave me his one-row Mazda truck that had 500,000 miles in there. Fam, first day I got that mug. Please give me a ticket. Because I had my daughter. Fam, I ain't have no
car seat.
Yes. This is how our people get caught up in the system. And it's not like on purpose. It's just like, damn, I just got a whip. Yeah. I just got this whip 30 minutes ago. Like, I ain't even had no chance to go nowhere. Got a ticket immediately. Like, so fast forward, 1 year go by. Now it's draft time again. And a bunch of players coming into our gym and agents and scouts. And I'm like, damn, here go my opportunity. I've been waiting a whole year for this. I asked, can I hop in the workout? They say, yeah, no problem. I hop in. I go crazy. Agent come up to me like, I don't know who's who. I'll say you this person. I'm like, nah, my name PJ Hill. I just work here, bro. He like, man, you way too good to be here. If I get your opportunity to play, would you? I said, yup. A couple months go past. I don't hear from him. Call me like, look, I got you a job in Europe. Boom, the rest history. 10 years later, I ran it up. Been to 51 countries. Lived my best life. You know, played in Russia, Greece, China. Been all over, man. Everywhere. God bless me beyond belief. My last year playing, I'm like about to be to the spot where I'm on. Like, I ain't got to worry about bread, none of that. Obama put some sanctions on. I'm playing in Russia at the time in the Russian league. Obama put some sanctions on some of them Russian, oligarchs. So, we kind of lose our budget. They're like, we can't pay the Americans. Y'all got to go back to the crib. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like kind of last one to leave. Before I leave, they pulled me to the side like, no, you can stay. We got enough money to pay one person. But really, that was a setup for me because I played on a team that had 6 Americans. You know what I'm saying? So then, I'm playing now, go from playing like 28 minutes to playing the whole game, and now we in 2 leagues. So now the wear and tear, everybody looking at me to do everything. I tore my Achilles.
Oof, the worst.
Yeah. So I was really mad at God, because I felt like, dang, I got to this level, and here we go again, the rug being ripped out. But what I learned is this, though. Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that will prevail for your life.
100%.
Amen.
Basketball was only my vehicle to teach me about life. My mom would always tell me my real life wouldn't start until after the game of basketball.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what happened to me. Everything I touch now turns to gold. And it's not like in a literal sense, like it don't just work out easily, but it works out. I've made more money this year than I did a lot of years playing basketball. Because God, it's, kind of my purpose to go on and to help people. That's my greatest gift. People in finance. And so I truly believe that's just what happened to me. I didn't understand in the moment, but it's a lot of things that we don't understand in the moment that happen to us that help us build character. Because here's what you don't want, and it's what happens to people in life. You don't want your talents to take you a place that your character can't keep you. And what happened, like all of us, and my guy here, we very talented. Meaning, like we can do anything we put our minds to. Not a lot of people believe in that, but some of us do. And we actually can do that. But then you get to the top and you realize, damn, I climbed the top of the wrong mountain. When you get to the top, this is not what I wanted. And that's what you don't want. So, I always try to be conscious of, like, when things happen, it's for a reason. And I know that God may have something better to me. Even though it's a hard pill to swallow that a door is being closed, another one is going to open. And I just encourage all of y'all watching this podcast that things happen in life for a reason. But if you continue to develop your character, continue to believe in your dream and pursue it, it'll come out why that thing happened to you. And of course, it was to build your character. Because what I've learned is I've made it to some incredibly high feats in life and been blessed to have success in my eyes and compared to my community. But it's not about that. It's who I become in the process that really has made me different. And the things that I cherish most. You can take everything from me right now, and I can get it back even faster because I've developed so many skills to be valuable to my community and the marketplace. So I encourage everybody to relish the journey that they take and not so much the destination.
Yeah. That's important.
Yeah, so that's what it was.
And why is that important to, relish the journey that you take and not so much the destination? Why should they go that route?
Because when you get to a destination, it's just human nature to want more.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to the top, and people who are very ambitious, I can get to where I want, then I'm like, all right, damn, what's next? You know what I'm saying?
We're never satisfied as humans.
Man, the eyes of a man are never satisfied.
Yeah.
It says that in a good book. And so what you got to really be okay with is being content in every situation. I've been broke and been very happy. I've had money and been very happy. I've been in situations where things didn't go right, and I've been super happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I at least got my family. I got my health. I told you I got, a crazy expensive watch, a Patek Philippe from a guy who had all the money in the world but couldn't pay to get his health. He on his deathbed. Don't got no family around, but I'm there visiting him. So what profits a man to gain the whole wide world but lose his soul? So I'd rather not only achieve success but acquire fulfillment along the way. I got to fill my bucket because in the end, my biggest scorecard is going to be my family. I think about, anything that I do now. I'm at a point in my life where I'm thinking about legacy. And when I think about my legacy, the first thing I start with is my eulogy. If I was to die today, what do I want people to say? What do I want my daughter to say? Was I there in her life? Her mom wasn't, but I showed up. I ain't have everything right, but I was there. And she know, like, your dad put on for you, baby. I pour life into you. I made the ground fertile so you can grow. And you grow far past me. If I'm the cup, you going to be the saucer, and you going to catch all the overflow. You going to live in it. I'm going to make sure when I'm done, you have $100 million trust, and you ain't never going to have to worry. You going to know what time it is. You going to have all the characteristics to want to work hard and change the world, but you going to fall back and say, my dad had me. He had a plan for us. And that's kind of what I want to do and be able to show our people that kind of gift.
Period.
To be able to liberate our people economically. Because a lot of these issues that I see in society stem from the economic inequalities that lie within society.
Yeah.
And for so long, we were not able to participate in some of the wealth building tools. If we think about real estate, and let's just equate it to the game Monopoly. And I like to use analogies because it's the best way for everyday people to understand. Say us three is playing Monopoly, right? And we say for the first 300 times around the board, I can't collect no money past go and I can't buy no properties. Then for the next 50 times around the board, I can collect half the money past go, but I can't buy no properties. Or I can, but if I buy them and then y'all don't like how I look at y'all while we playing the game, y'all can take them back. Right? And then for the next 50 times around, we say, okay, we're going to play even. Of course I'm not going to have no fucking properties.
Exactly.
This is America. That's what white folks don't understand. We can put it in simple terms. That's what has happened to us.
Yeah.
So now it's going to take a lot to be able to level that playing field. And it's going to take us banding together and not being crabs in the bucket, but really like, how do we lift each other up? Because we already got the weight of the world versus us.
Facts.
So that's all I try to do. So back to my story. I come back home, torn Achilles. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still training kids at the gym though. Now I moved my way up. Now I'm the top guy there, Just, did my
Everybody
time.
wants to
I did my time,
now.
yeah. So a lot of times I deal with the moms, the nannies, the dads at the very beginnings, but not a lot. So one day dad was showing up every time for his son. And I said, man, what you do that affords you all this freedom? He said, I'm the vice president of investments. You know my guy. I had to be talk to him, the big homie.
Yeah.
And so he said, I said, man, damn, I'm looking for somebody to help me manage my money. Can you help me out? So he said, yeah. We set up a meeting. I go down to the IDS. First thing I think, like, damn, I don't got tens of millions of dollars. I'm wilding. I should have never came down here.
Yeah.
So, you give somebody some money, they think I got a little confidence till they get with people who really got money.
Yeah.
So, but then I just went in there, man, and he said, PJ, before we talk about your money, what you want to do after basketball? And I said, you know what, I don't know, maybe be like train kids in basketball, be a college coach, something that I was really comfortable in. And he says, man, when you're dealing with money, you got to be very neutral. You don't talk about religion. You don't talk about politics. It's all about growing people's wealth. And he said, I was watching the U.S. Open. They start talking about athletes growing broke from bad advisors in their life. And he said, he's a 60-year-old white man, mind you. He said, I heard a voice in my ear, the angels. They told me to take you on and make you a multimillionaire. Give you an opportunity so you can get in wealth management. So that way you can change the narrative for your family and your community. I said, damn, that's cold.
God is always good.
This is what happened to me. Every time I get to a crossroad in my life and I don't know what to do, God always opened the door. So I always try to do all I can and just be in a position to just get the blessings when they happen.
Yeah.
And so that's all I did, man. Nothing I've done is because that I am more gifted to anybody else. Mm-hmm. What I've always been done, what I'm good at, is people. I got a heart for people.
Yeah.
So I try to always do everything I can, so when my opportunity comes, people can do all they can for me, and it can work out. So I ended up playing another year, and I said, look, man, you don't got to pay for me to study or nothing. I'm a self-study. I self-studied, y'all. Let me tell you how crazy this is. I'm thinking I'm studying, right? Going as hard as I can. I don't got no background in finance, so I don't know nothing. I get back home, I take my first exam, and I get 42 out of 100. Man, I told my wife, ain't no way I could pass this test. I don't know what I'm going to do. But check this. I done retired from basketball, bought a home, got a whole life now. Ain't no way I can go back now. My brothers and sisters is watching me. My mom and dad counting on me. I got a daughter. I got to go forward. So I literally took the next 7 months. I spent all the money I had. You know, I pay all the bills in my crib for me and my wife at that time. I took care of everything. You know, I tell my wife, you do whatever you want with your money. I got it.
A man.
You know, I try to be, you know, to be able to provide. That's one part, you know. And it's not everybody's situation, you know. Sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes you got, you know, I had times where girls that put on for me, you know. I owe them back for that. Maybe never get to pay it, but I'm going to pay it back for it to my wife. You know what I'm saying? To another woman.
Yeah.
So, but I studied, man, hard. Like, I went to so many exam classes, and then one day I asked a professor, I said, man, you know, what's the most exams anybody has ever taken? You know, practice exams. Now, these practice exams for the Series 7 is 3.5 hours. Yeah, you know that.
I hated that.
And you understand that because you're in banking as well. So he said, man, 22. Like, 22 is the most. He said, PJ, I just feel like there's something different about you. I said, yeah, bro, I can't go back. So
there is
ain't no path
I'm glad
but
you know
forward.
Yeah.
I took 62 practice exams because I couldn't leave it to chance. Mm-hmm. I can't leave it to chance, not with my family's life hanging on it, mine too. I told God, I'm done with basketball. You gave me this opportunity, I'm going to go forward. I got to go. I'm going to make it work. So what happened, I went into the test, right? You know, test 7 hours. I never forget this in my life. This is kind of make me mad sometimes about white folks, even though I got a lot of good white friends. But they sometimes condescending. So I'm in the exam. I had did so many practice exams and so many questions. I knew, like, the questions. Maybe they worded a little different, but the essence of the questions you can understand. So I knew how to get down to that. And if I didn't know it, guess skip. Because that means I ain't never seen it. If I took... You know, I did thousands of questions. Y'all done made this up. It wasn't no way I can know it now. So I got done in 3.5 hours. 7-hour test. The girl next to me just started laughing like he failed. I killed that test. But I'm just like, damn, like, you're so condescending. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes it's motivation, sometimes it's not all white folks, but some of them.
Yeah.
And nothing against white folks. You know, I got a lot of white friends.
Right, me too.
But I'm just being real. Yeah. You know, I'm just being real, speaking my truth in this space. So then I became an advisor. And that changed my life. But I didn't really have a lot of swag. So I'm gonna really talk about this. I never talked about this openly. When I was first an advisor, I didn't have swag. Because I was stepping into another person's arena. It wasn't mine. I had spent my whole life playing basketball, the game of basketball, since I was 3 years old. And now I get to this point where I've reached the top and I've committed my whole life to it. Now I'm starting all over. But here's the dynamics that you got to understand about this. Like, and just a man and his family and the journey. So when I go play professional overseas, you're gone for 9 to 10 months every year. I couldn't bring my daughter with me everywhere I went, so I had to leave her behind. So my daughter had to live with her mom, but my mom. Then when I met my wife, she started living with my wife. But I spent so many years away from my family, sacrificing for my dream. Now I get back. Now my family like, all right, now we can be a family. But I start another career. So it's like, I gotta go grind again, like, to really make it. But your family sometimes don't understand that.
No.
They don't, and they shouldn't have to. Because, you know, that's what it's like to be a man and be present. But I didn't have no swag when I was first there, man. You know, I wasn't smart at that. And then, you know, I kind of felt like they would just use me for just who I knew and all of that. You know what I'm saying? As I started to get into the business a little bit more and more, I bought a crib. I was living over north, sold that crib, made a lot of money. Grateful, 6 figures. So then I said, I'm about to start this real estate. This is a cool way to make the bag. So I bought a duplex on 36 and Elliott. 6 months later, George Floyd died. But I grew up in that community, right? I went to church on 38th in Chicago.
This is when he went off, y'all.
This is when I went up.
This is when the story starts.
Yeah. So at the time, my little program that I was in at the bank, the financial advising program was coming to an end.
Yeah.
So they had to figure out something to do with a lot of the advisors, young advisors. So we ended up going to, being in the bank position so we can continue our career. George Floyd died, and it sparked something in me, man. It really gave me my swag back. You know, Brother George Floyd didn't get murdered in vain. A lot of people have changed their life because of that, and I'm one of them. He changed my life forever. A white lady told me her name's Cindy Murphy. She my girl. George Floyd died, and she said, PJ, you need to do something.
The nerves of these folks.
I need to do something.
Look at her all confused, like,
Right.
what do I need to do?
Right, but it's like, I took it the wrong way. But she said, you need to do something. You articulate, you smart, a lot of people know you, you have a big presence in the community. And I had always been involved in community, but more from a sports perspective, using basketball as a way to, help people achieve their life goals and dreams. But I never did social justice stuff. So she said, you need to do something, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what you think I should do? She like, you need to go up 38th Chicago, and you need to just start speaking your truth. And then she kind of gave me a plan. I was like, it's a good plan. So I called my buddy, who now is a U.S. attorney. His name Andy Luger, really good friend of mine. Kind of talked to him about what I wanted to do. He said, yep, you should do that. I'm going to call you back in 10 minutes. I got more ideas. Called one more friend of mine. He said, look, I just got off the phone with Reverend Al Sharpton. He'll be at 38th Chicago in 10 minutes. I put on the suit and I walked up there. And I walked up there, and lo and behold, he was walking up with all his people, Reverend Al Sharpton, bunch of pastors, all kind of people up there, thousands of people out there. I got pushed to the front. We did all these live interviews on TV,
yeah.
With some of the most, prominent Black Titans activist people. And I was right there. Got to speak my truth and got to do different things like that. Then I'm like, dang, I can do this. So my buddy, I give credit to him. He like, man, we need to do a protest. So I'm like, I ain't never protested in my life, but cool, you know what I'm saying? I'll show up. He said, nah, I need you to do more than show up. Like, people believe in you, PJ. I need you to really be there and lead by example, like, blah, blah, blah. We need you. So I get there. I'm thinking it's going to be like a little protest or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what a protest is. I ain't really paying attention in history and all that. I'm about to learn today, though. So I get out there. And first it was like a couple hundred people, media out there. They asked me to do media. I'm like, bro, this ain't even my protest. What you mean? So I do media, speak from my heart. It resonates with people. We started marching. We must have marched. I look back, bro, there's probably like 8,000 people behind us. I could not believe it. So we get to the bridge, we take a knee, and they like, PJ, can you say a few words?
Like, man, what y'all want me to say?
What can I say in this time? I got an array of feelings in my heart. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm sad. I don't know how I feel. Feet hurt because we've been walking. But I get out there and I speak from my heart, man. Speak, what God put on my heart to speak. And I always wanted to be able to lead my community and do service. being a servant leadership. I always say that, like, serving people, serving, you know, using my voice as a platform to be able to speak, articulating what so many other people feel but can't really get the words to express that and don't have the platform. That's what I was able to do. So I did that protest, and it was up. So I'm like, man, that felt good. I brought my wife out there. I'm like, man, I ain't doing no more protests. That was cool. I served my time. But, bro, everywhere I was going, people was like, man, we seen you on TV. We was at the protest. We going to be at the next one. So my buddies hit me up again like, man, we doing another one, blah, blah, blah. This one going to be even bigger. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going, but I'm gassing. I'm bluffing. I'm telling y'all the truth. I ain't even told this story ever. I'm gassing.
You heard it here first.
So I go to my boy's house. He having a baby shower, him and his wife. He said, we coming out there to march with y'all today. I'm sending my sons, too.
I looked at my wife like, damn.
If they only knew, I ain't going.
I got to show up now. So now my phone blowing up off the hook. So I'm like, I got to show up. They like, where you at? We out here waiting on you. I'm like, bet I'm on my way. I get down there. 15,000 people out there waiting on me. I get up to the front. They do the singing. I get up there and I start speaking. People going crazy. Then we start marching. We march all the way to 35W Bridge.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Now it's like, you know, we like 25,000 strong. Here's one thing about marching we didn't know, you know, this is naive. You know, you think you're doing something for good for people, but you got to understand, a lot goes into protesting, into doing marches. We had no idea. I was never the leader of that, but people looked at me as a leader because I was one of the people at front who was based on, they would leverage my character and my personality to make these things go. And so I wasn't part of the planning, but what I didn't realize is when we walked out on that bridge, we put a lot of people's lives in danger. And so now you take that on, right? No lie, this is the exact outfit I had on when we marched out there. We get out there. I never wanted to go on that bridge. Other people who was marching with us did. I said, man, this is a fucked up idea, man. But they went out there. I can't turn back now. Too many people following us. I look back. As far as I can see back, it's people. We got to go forward. Not just black people, white people, kids, Asians, natives, East Africans. Everybody's out there. Everybody, what we all witnessed was a slow, torturous, 9-minute murder of a man. It don't matter if you black or white, if you rich or you poor, if you a man or you a woman, something inside of all of us broke. And we said enough is enough. So that's why I had to go forward. I get out there and we get on that bridge and y'all know what happened. A truck drove through. And all of our lives flashed before our eyes.
That day?
Yeah. And so now I just switch into like real life leadership mode. Like I'm throwing people over the other side of the bridge because I was on the side where the truck was coming. Like, and it was crazy. We chased the truck down and all of that. And they wanted to kill the driver, throw him over. We didn't allow them to do that. Big shout out to my boy Kurt, who was a trainer at the Timberwolves at the time. And now he's at in college, a trainer. And Dr. Raj from the NAACP. We protected his life, but mainly them. They didn't let him kill him because the message was, this is not about a life for a life. This is about doing something bigger. We can't fight darkness with darkness. You know what I'm saying? We got to fight it with light. And love always conquers more. That's why we as black people will never be defeated. Like no matter what they put us through, we always rise to the top. So I did that, and then I helped lead all of them people off the bridge. I had to negotiate with the U.S. Army and all of that. On national television, it was helicopters and all of that out there. They had AK-47s and all of that pointed out there. Our people getting crazy. I jumped out there. They like, no, don't go out there. I said, they're not going to kill no black man in a suit on national television. If they do, then it will be up. I went out there. They had all the guns pointing at me. And I just told our people, like, look, we won. It's time, like, let's get off this bridge. Because it ain't about going to jail. It's about making our point. And only reason that, you know, I decided to do protests and lead those things is because I wanted people to be able to express themselves in another way than tearing the city up. But what I understand that them going crazy in the streets and all that and tearing the city up, it played its role too. Because I say this, when you look at the statistics, Minnesota got some of the biggest disparities between white and black ownership.
That's very true.
For home ownership and for business ownership. Yep. And when you think about it, I always say this to white folks and to wealthier people. People don't tear shit up that they own.
That's true.
So if we don't own none of it, we're going to tear it all up. And that's why, because we don't own none of this.
We don't own none of it.
100%. And then here's another thing. They got to think about this. If you write F the pigs and all that, that's not black people. We don't say that. If you burning down buildings, that's not black people.
Us.
We don't play with fire. You know what I'm saying? That's not us. You know, I had to tell them that. You know what I'm saying? Real, like, you don't need to see no black people walking around with gasoline cans. Nope. That's not our swag. So that was not us. You know what I'm saying? It would be us snapping and running in Target, grabbing diapers and all that. But
TVs.
Yeah, TVs. You know what I'm saying? Grabbing weights from Planet Fitness. That's us. But I seen a lady grabbing diapers from Target. Then that's not about trying to loot. That's talking about surviving. That's a problem with America. And that's what I try to get people to understand. Like, it's so much more behind that, but we needed that for people to wake up. So then from there, man, I went on and I was able to be like a part of a coalition with all the Fortune 500 CEOs.
Oh, wow.
Help form the group. Help be the bridge between community and corporate America. Help be the bridge between community and law enforcement. How can we help restore trust and legitimacy? Because the trust is completely severed. And just using all my skills with people to be able to do that. Like I said earlier, man, I was able to travel around the world. Fortunate. But like I told you, like what basketball did is afforded me to sharpen my people skills. And that's what I did. So now when it came to dealing with police, when it came to dealing with multi-million-dollar corporate executives, yeah. I've been with people who have absolutely nothing, you know, refugees from the Middle East to billionaires, Russian billionaires, partying on yachts and all that. I know how to deal with people. I know how to give corporate America a safe bridge to be able to come over with no judgment. But also to help them understand that we're not coming to meet y'all. They're going to come meet us. Because it's been us coming to meet you for too long. That's what I've been able to do. That's my greatest gift. And so then I overlay that with my skill in finance. Like I said earlier, a lot of these issues that I believe a society deals with is the economic issues. So my main goal in life, my number one goal is to make 1,000 black people millionaires.
Say that again.
Man, 1,000 black people millionaires. That's $1 billion in assets to our community. Because what I know this, man, if I can liberate people economically, then they don't have to depend on a system. I'm going to come here. I'm going to give my money to my boy instead of to somebody else. I'm going to rent this shop out. I'm going to do different things like that. I'm going to come be on this podcast so y'all can monetize it so then somebody can believe and then somebody can come live in my building. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to do. It's like group economics. Yeah. And so, like, it's been a variety of ways to be able to do so. One has been through the stock market and my gift that I learned to be able to invest. Another has been through real estate and my ability to you know, buy buildings, affordable housing, allow people to be able to live in those buildings, clean, good, affordable housing, work them through the flows of housing, from deeply subsidized to workforce, then to market rate, and then in hopes that one day that I can get them in 18 to 24 months, and this is not for everybody, so one day buy their own first home so they can participate in the American dream. And that's how you build wealth for people. And then on the ownership side, now ownership can reflect the community that it serves. You know what I'm saying? So now when I live 6 blocks this way and I own all of these buildings and you come out of these buildings and you see me like, what you doing around with cleaning the trash up? Oh, I own this building. What?
Yeah.
I look just like you. Yeah, I own this building. Now one day I lived in this building. That's what I want to be able to do to give people, because ownership gives you a sense of pride. The right kind of pride, like we do, you know, a different kind of pride. And when people really have ownership, then they think about things different. So that's what I do. I allow people to come in to my deals and do syndication at a lower dollar amount, because we all know there's so many barriers to entry in commercial real estate and multifamily real estate. I take away all them barriers. and I allow people to participate with me. Now, you may have a lower equity stake, but it's the journey. I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to educate you about building performance. I'm going to educate you about property management, about how to build your capital stack, how to get the right financing, how to get the right allies, stuff that we know because we in banking, how to build your credit.
Our community needs.
100%.
Yes.
And then all the while serving all my tenants that live in my building with wraparound services, helping them build their credit, helping them learn financial literacy, helping them get, pairing them with jobs. So, because it's not about, living. You got to be able to pay for where you live, too. You know what I'm saying? I got to make money, too. Yeah. My number one thing is I got to serve people, help people, make money for my family. That's what I want to do. Like, that's it. So, that's what I do, man. It's a lofty ambition. It may take my whole life, and I may never achieve it. But I won't give up till I help everybody I can.
Amen.
That's it.
Man, listen, I'm surprised I didn't cry during this interview because PJ is so powerful and touching. You know what I loved about this interview? We didn't even have to ask
no questions.
He just touched every point that crossed my mind and went, beyond. So, what's next?
This is a part 2.
Yeah, it's got to be because there's so many things that I'm working on now. Yeah. Like now it's up. And I'll tell y'all, then I can tell my, my personal journey within this and how I found my swag and, how I got to a private investment firm and doing all that, working with, the highest level athletes, being their financial advisor. That's a whole nother story.
I remember
you know what I'm saying?
When PJ left, like when we were working together, he was like, yo, I got this opportunity. Deuces, but the thing is, I knew that wasn't the last time I was going to see him. Like everything that he said that he was going to do and touch on, this man has literally, even above. I think you probably
I exceeded my expectations.
I think he exceeded his expectations because he exceeded my expectations. So I'm a huge fan. So when's your book coming out?
Yeah, we all about to.
Yeah.
Everyone is about to be a fan now.
I'm grateful, man. I just want to be able to share my story in hopes that it inspires other people. I want them to be, a lot of people, they see the end result, but they don't see the journey. Yeah. So that's why I like sharing mine because it's about that. Like, everybody looks at right now, but this has been a long time in the process. A lot of low times, a lot of times feeling inadequate in my position, a lot of times not being qualified and had to step out there just because this is what I got to do for the people. This is what I got to do for my family. But I think in doing that, being courageous, constantly, staying in touch with my purpose that God has put me down here for. Though I may make mistakes, I'm like a GPS.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it to my destination. And if I run into roadblocks, they just reroute me. Gotta just reroute me.
He will.
Yeah, and I'm always listening. So anything that I can do to help anybody, y'all reach out to them, and I'm an open book. And
so how can we get a hold of you? How can somebody get a hold of you?
My Instagram is Mr.PJ.Hill. I usually give out my phone number. My wife don't like that. No, my wife don't like that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
My wife don't like that. She says I'm always trying to help too many people, and I just, part of my thing too now, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna help as many people as possible. Yeah. But some things I just can't do, like Magic Johnson said. I was at a level where I'm here. I'm moving up in life. Fortunate. I can't do everything down here. So when you got a little bigger thing that you need help with, I probably can be of more assistance. Okay.
We're going to see PJ with the team, assistants, secretaries. You're going to be one of those Skyview.
I'm going to be the governor one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make an appointment.
Like everything, you're going to have people assisting you. But what I love about it is you educate people, like the knowledge. Like you don't gatekeep anything. That's what I really appreciate about you. Yeah. You don't gatekeep anything. So everything that you share. So that way people can go after exactly what they want. So knowledge is power, man.
Thanks.
So, dang, I don't even know, we could go on and on. I guess the last thing, you shared a lot of advice in this episode, but our last piece is, what is one last piece of advice that you'd like to share with our community specifically?
Number one is don't ever let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. You got a dream, go after it. And every dream starts with one believer. You got to know that. So, and a lot of times it be your family and your friends who closer to you, they gonna put they limitations on you. Don't let them do that. Don't let them do that. You got a dream, go after it. And if people don't believe in your dream, it's all love. Don't be mad at them because it started with you. It's not their dream, it's yours. And you go after it. Then when it manifests itself, you never told them people you told them so. You just let your success be. And that's a humble man.
I love it.
Because then if you humble yourself under the mighty hand of the Lord, He'll exalt you in due time. And that's what I do. And I'm living in my overflow.
Man, I love you, bro. Thank you so much for coming. That was grateful. Amazing. Everybody, he gave us Instagram. We'll definitely link it. And yeah, check out PJ at the Growth Conference, July 16 and July 17. He's going to be one of the speakers there. He's phenomenal. I know he's in many rooms, so follow his page. I'm sure you'll always be updating it and everything like that. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
thank you
much for coming. Thank you for sharing your story. Especially other black men listening to this who were in situations that you once were. I think after they listen to this, they can know it's not always going to be hard, a struggle. Opportunities will happen, and so I appreciate that.
Can you touch my phone so it turns into gold, please?
I already got something special with this. This is dope.
Man,
I got a platform to speak to the people. If you control the media, you control the narrative.
100%. Thank you so much for coming, and Eat and Talk. We're out.
Man, you gotta sign that shirt, PJ.
You gotta sign that shirt. I'm gonna take a picture. Yes.